If you play one Rebel, you play us all.
And the regular season journey comes to an end tonight at Vestavia with Montgomery Catholic in town. With Chad Pilcher, I'm Jim Dunaway. We got a big game ahead tonight. The crowd's filing in. We're going to wrap up the regular season, move to the playoffs next week. We can move to the playoffs next week because of what happened last week here.
So fun last week to watch this Vestavia team play. Came out tight game early and then outscored Hoover 21-6 in the second half. Rushed the ball 44 times for 268 yards with Charlie Taff and Carson Purdy. Went over the 100-yard mark. It was so impressive to see this Rebel team with everything on the line. Are you in the playoffs? Are you out? What seed will you be? And they showed up big and made it happen. One of the most fun games I've seen in this stadium in a long time.
Hey, they keep scoring games tonight, so there is meaning to it, but there's no impact on the upcoming playoffs. We'll play the game to win tonight. We'll talk about Montgomery Catholic in a second. But let's take a look at the bracket for the state tournament, the playoffs that starts next week. And you'll see Vestavia on the right side of the bracket, but there's interesting storylines all over that bracket.
Yeah, if you start on the left side first, Thompson and Central Phoenix City, 1 seeds from their respective regions. They're on the same side of the bracket. Those teams have been 1-2. They played in the state championship last year and have won the last 7 state championships. Has been won by one of those 2 teams. They're on the same side of the bracket, so at best, they'll face each other in the semifinals. Then you go to the other side where Vestavia is going to travel to Auburn. Auburn, the 2 seed out of Region 2. Vestavia, the 3 seed out of Region 3. And the winner of that game will play Sparkman. The winner of Sparkman versus Daphne. We'll have some more comments about that as the game goes along. But that's what the bracket looks like starting next week in the 7A playoffs.
Yeah, if you're looking at a scenario here, having Vestavia on that other side away from the 7 straight national champions, there's a path there for Trustful and Vestavia or Auburn or Opelika to get to that championship game and take a shot at the title. I like the way the bracket looks. Let's listen now to our starting lineups tonight and see who's playing for your Rebels against Montgomery Catholic.
Rush Harper, defensive end.
Haynes Bridges, nose guard.
Josh Arundel, defensive line.
Leon Buriska, defensive end.
Parker Simpson, cornerback.
Matthew Patillo, corner.
Gray Manown, linebacker.
Nick Williams, linebacker. Daniel Richardson, linebacker. Owen Wilbanks, safety. Walker Hogue, safety.
Sloan Morgan, kicker.
Copeland Styles, offensive line.
Jackson Deal, offensive line.
Caleb Boylan, offensive line. Will Guathany, offensive line. Pearson Tucker, offensive line.
Will Ainsworth, tight end.
Zach Laws, receiver.
Luke Stubbs, wide receiver.
Braxton Hunt, H-back.
Noah Boylan, running back. Charlie Taff, quarterback.
So that's the starting lineups tonight for Vestavia. Let's go first with the quarterback position. Charlie Taff, who is battling some injuries all season long, has been playing through some pain. going to start tonight in a game that some would say has no impact on the playoffs, but we're keeping score again, out to win the game.
2 weeks ago at Tuscaloosa County, he did not play. Price LeMaster stepped in and just went 11 for 11 in that ball game. Was outstanding. There was some talk this week, would Charlie play, would he not? The decision has been made that he is going to go tonight. Now, how long he goes, who knows? And I don't think we're going to see him carry the football 20 times like he did last week. But he's going to go, and I think that's good just to stay sharp. That's one thing, there's a big debate in 7A football. Do you play in week 10? Or do you take that week off? Of the top 10 in 7A football this week, there's only 2 teams playing. Vestavia is one of those 2, as Vestavia took its bye week in week 5 at the midway point of the season. So not a ton of teams playing this week. Coach Evans likes to stay in rhythm, stay in routine, and play in this week, and so that's what they're going to do. But there will be guys that are limited tonight or may not play at all, and so we'll just have to monitor that as the game goes along.
We'll get our captains coming out here in a second. And we'll get a coin toss. We did have a couple of injuries last week, and we want to send our thoughts and our prayers to Paxton Ussery as he continues to battle back from his injury that obviously is going to cost him the rest of the season.
And Paxton had surgery on Monday and is at home recovering now. It's going to be several month recovery process, but certainly best wishes to him. And that was a tough injury, just the way it happened and on the field, and had a delay. But now it's an opportunity for someone else to step up and fill into that spot. And it's going to be interesting to see, how does that happen? Liam Borsica came in. We'll get the opportunity to start. You may see Matthew Hillsmeyer in there, some Morgan Butler, but guys will get the opportunity. You can't replace that, but you can fill in, and it's time for the next guy to step up.
And I think I told the Paxton Ussery story several times. I thought his play on that first drive for Hoover that ended up them only getting a field goal sort of set the tone for the night in Vestavia's big win. It just stopped their drive and just got them behind the chains, and it was a field goal. It was such a big moment in that contest. And there were other injuries, including on the offensive line, and those guys returned. So, other than some banged and bruises that you get at the end of the regular season, this Vestavia team is pretty healthy, and hopefully we get out of here tonight still healthy.
And that's the goal, is come out. But you can't play not to get hurt. You have to play full speed. You play as if it's no different. I will say one challenge for the Rebels here tonight is last week against Hoover was one of the most electric atmospheres you've seen in a while, probably one of the most electric atmospheres these kids have ever played in. Tonight is not going to be that. This is a completely different atmosphere. It's a Thursday night first off, so the crowd is going to be a little bit smaller. Last week it was cool, this week it is cold. So it's just a different, last week was your rival. This week it's a 5A school that you're playing that you haven't ever played before in the history of your school, so a totally different dynamic here tonight.
The lights are down, the spotlight's on midfield, and our captains are making their way out there. Matthew Hillsmeyer is number 90, he's out there. Number 36, David Hahn is out there. Also number 28, Liam Borishka is out there, and so too is Baker Stewart out there tonight, number 19. They're our captains this evening as they're out there in the blue uniforms with the white helmets with the numerals on one side, a very Buffalo Bills feel to it.
And on the far right of your screen is Vestavia Hills City Manager Jeff Downs. Jeff Downs obviously has lived in Vestavia for several years and does a great job running our city. He's a graduate of Montgomery Catholic High School. So a really cool opportunity for him. You see wearing that double jersey. He's got Vestavia on one side, Montgomery Catholic on the other. Actually taught and coached at Montgomery Catholic for a little while. So a neat night for Jeff Downs here, and he's out there with the coin toss.
Yep, a commemorative coin being given to his family there. Montgomery Catholic wins the toss, and they're going to take the football there. Vestavia will get to start the second half, and we're ready for what has been a journey. Started way back with our friends from South Carolina who came down in the heat of August and started this season off in a winning way. Really didn't know what we're going to have when the season started, and that South Carolina team that was just one play away from being state champions themselves came down, and Vestavia put it on them pretty good. And then you come, as the season has gone on, you had a big win over Auburn, who we play next week in the playoffs, and it just has churned and churned and churned. And here come your Rebels one more time under the lights here at Thompson Reynolds Stadium for the 2025 season. And the folks from Montgomery Catholic making their way on in the road whites and their dark helmets. So that journey, when you look back at this season to get to this point, it's been a really spectacular year.
Hard to believe that we've already played 10 football games in this season. Vestavia started the season ranked number 7. Now they sit at number 2 And I think if you told Coach Robert Evans you're going to have a good year, he would have believed you. He felt like there was a lot of promise with this football team. But being number 2 in the state, playing as well as they have the last several weeks, and really getting that big win. That's the one thing that it kind of been missing over the last several years. Can you get that big-time win that really propels you forward? And I think this coaching staff feels like that Hoover win was that. But you've got tonight to finish up the regular season and an even bigger game next week. It's easy to look at that score against Auburn and say, oh, Vestavia won 42-14, and they did. They controlled and dominated that game. But next week it's the playoffs, and you go on the road, and that's a different show.
As the light show begins here before kickoff, tell us quickly about this Montgomery Catholic team that the Knights come to town with a little magical history the last couple of years.
They have been incredible. 2 years ago in Class 4A, they went 15-0 and won the 4A state championship. They bumped up to 5A last year, went 14-0 and won the 5A state championship in their first year. This year they come in 6-3, but last week won an overtime victory over Andalusia 23-17 to clinch the region championship. So it's a team with a lot of momentum that's had a good, strong season.
Sloan Morgan steps it off. We're lined up in blue on a Halloween Eve. The kick is heading towards the end zone. It'll bounce in there, and Montgomery Catholic, the Knights, will start at their 20-yard line.
They come into this game under head coach Jonathan Chandler. He's in his first season as a head coach at Montgomery Catholic. He was previously the offensive coordinator at Pike Road. He replaces Kirk Johnson, who spent 4 seasons as the head coach at Montgomery Catholic, and during that time he went 55-2 and won those aforementioned 2 state championships at Montgomery Catholic.
And had a fantastic offensive coordinator in Cody Hodgins, who went with him to his new gig there. So that was a great offensive staff, and we'll see what this Montgomery Catholic team can do offensively. They've got a lot of motion, a lot of shifts, and may want a little Dramamine with all the stuff they'll throw at you tonight offensively. A little slow snap, swing pass out, and off to the left side is Ty Player. He's their playmaker. He's going to get an 8-yard gain, and over on the tackle is number 3, Owen Wilbanks.
And that's what you're going to see from this team. A lot of swing routes, a lot of motion. They're going to have funky formations where linemen are out on the numbers or out on the hash. It's a little similar to what Vestavia does. They're going to have a good tempo. They're going to mix things up, and for them, they're a 5A school playing a 7A school. You just throw everything out there and see what happens.
All right, 2nd down and 1. Man in motion again, as we're stacked in with 7 in the box. Pass out to the flats, tipped and out of bounds, actually off the receiver's hands. Out there on the guard is Parker Simpson, who had a fantastic game last week for the Vestavia Rebels.
The play that stands out to me is the big hit that he had on Jonah Winston. It was a short little pop pass when they were backed up, made a big play that led to the punt return for the touchdown.
Quick lineup, 3rd down play. I don't know if he got there. Gets a favorable mark right at the line, and see if he puts it right foot, left foot. Well, he's moving his mark a little bit there, and they're going to say 1st down. Put it right on the line, 1st down Montgomery Catholic.
That was very close, a generous spot.
You'd like to see the guy who's marking the ball to sort of stand still, not keep walking, and then toss it to the guy who hasn't marked it yet either. I thought he got the line too. 1st down Montgomery Catholic right out of the gates here. The Knights with the football, man in motion to the top. They got 2 top, 2 near side, and they're going to toss it far side over there. That's Player again, and he's going to be stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. The ball popped out. Vestavia has it, but they're going to say he's down before he fumbled the football.
And Player is their best athlete on the football field. He's a guy who's going to play running back. He's going to play receiver. He's going to play all over, and they're going to do whatever they can to get him the football.
Rush Harper in on the hit as the ball squirted out. Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. They have invisible numbers as far as I'm concerned. They're white, they're gray, can't see the numbers at all. So I'm going to say Player a lot. Their quarterback is C.J. Sankey. He's going to keep it this time, and he is off and running. Slips and is going to be tackled there as well by 18 Daniel Richardson. He'll get credit with that tackle. Play picks up 4.
If you ever design uniforms for folks out there in your future and it's white jersey, you need a dark color on the front of that jersey so folks like us can see that well.
It could be my easiest night of calling names. Since nobody can see the number, I'll make the names up for the visitors here. Send all your complaints right there to Chad Pilcher. ChadPilcher.com. 3rd down play here, 3rd and 8 for the Knights. pressure, screen pass. They'll do a lot of screens, and they've got some blockers out there, but just a well of a play right there. Good tackle by number 4, Parker Simpson. Got a hold of that leg and brought him to the ground.
Great job by player there to continue to fight and push forward and spin. Simpson held on long enough to bring him down. Montgomery Catholic's going to leave the offense on the field.
4th and a yard and a half. They're at least going to line up for a play. They're in the playoffs too, playing for pride tonight to get another W. They tried that shift to try to get the Rebels to bounce off, but they practice that all the time. Now they get an audible from their coach over there. See if we get a punt going. It's the play clock's to 4, 3, 2, 1. And it looks like we'll get a delay of game and end up punting this thing. Not a bad play there. You don't want to waste a timeout.
Montgomery Catholic played up because of their success. Some of the success they had, they ended up moving up as the private school and kind of how the enrollment. But when you talk about the difference, Montgomery Catholic comes in tonight. Their student enrollment for 2024 to 25 is 304 students. Compare that to 1,600 for Vestavia. So just a huge gap in the enrollment between these two schools.
All right, up to punt now. 4th and 6 for the Knights. Rugby style punter. High, near side. He's going to bounce out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That's where Vestavia will take over. Luke Stubbs was back there but didn't want to try to get over there and field it. So here we go on the offense. Charlie Taft comes out there to quarterback this thing. He's got a lot of familiar faces around him, including Noah Boylan back in the backfield. Stubbs will come near side. Grayson Harper's out there. And Charlie Taft, number 11, the junior who had such a big game last week, sends Ainsworth in motion. Pass near side is to Stubbs. Stubbs breaks the tackle, works it across the 50 down to the 48, and a good first down play. And as always, Vestavia will play with some pace.
They're going to quickly get back to the line. Last week, Vestavia against Hoover had 414 yards of total offense, 146 of those through the air.
Actually gets a mark there for a first down, so it's 1st and 10 at the 48. Up the middle, the handoff to Boylan. He fights forward for another big gain. That's going to be a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4.
And the patience with which Boylan runs the football allow the play to develop. Good job by the offensive line getting a push up front and a nice start on that.
2 receivers at the top. Taft looks downfield. Cox, he fires over the middle to Stubbs, and it's just off the end of his fingertips. Perfectly thrown ball there from Charlie Taft, but great coverage on the backside.
Looked like Sal Barranco was on coverage there. You're right, he just ran right with Stubbs. Great ball by Taft, and Barranco put his hands up at the last minute to deflect it out.
Same formation except the tight ends at the top side. Now Laws is going to come in motion near side. Little shift from Vestavia, and that's going to draw either an offsides or a procedure penalty, and the ref is pointing towards the Knights from Montgomery, and that's going to be a Vestavia first down.
And you see the reaction from the Montgomery Catholic coaching staff. You know they talked about that all week long. They showed it to them on film. This is how they're going to shift, and then the first time Vestavia does it, the Knights jump off sides, and that moves the sticks.
They're going to do it like we do, guys, so don't take the cheese. All right, 1st and 10. In motion is Laws. Fake the handoff. Charlie's going to keep it. Charlie Taft with running room. Breaks it down inside the 25 to the 21-yard line. Grabbed him by the sleeve there and drug him out of bounds. 22, they're going to say where he stepped out first, but it's another first down as Charlie was off and running. Before they get the sticks set up on the far side, we snap the football, handoff, and a power run. They can't get him to the ground. Boylan dragging a couple of defenders there all the way at the yardstick again. It's another Vestavia first down.
Kenneth Bell tried to wrap Boylan up for Montgomery Catholic, and he was drugged like 7 or 8 yards down the field.
Charlie's going to hand it off to Boylan again. Tries to split the seam. He gets down to the 10, picks up a couple of more.
Bell did not like that last play, and he came back with a vengeance on that one. Really strong tackle by Bell there. Came from his middle linebacker position.
Carson Purdy checks into that backfield there to get Boylan a little breather there. So Big 15, the senior here in his final regular season home game, is going to take it right side. He is stacked up, trying to get a big push from Jackson Dill there. They'll blow the play dead. Still hadn't got him to the ground, though. 3rd down play coming up.
And that was the question, is how much would we see these starters play for Vestavia? Purdy, Taft been beat up a little bit throughout the year, and both of them starting or in the game on this first drive. Taft started, Purdy came in off the bench, but we'll see a lot of guys playing here tonight, and this has been a good start for the Vestavia offense. We'll see if they can finish it up here on this third down.
3rd and 7, ball's at the 9 for Vestavia. Now we shift it to the near side. Charlie's back there with Carson Purdy. Purdy's going to get it up the middle, down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. That's going to be close to another first down, but maybe a yard and a half short.
And Vestavia's going to quickly get it back up to the line. It's 4th down, but the tempo will go. Taft under center, ready to take the snap.
No field goals tonight. Handoff once again to Purdy, fighting for the end zone. He's going to be knocked down at the 2-yard line, but it's a first down.
Good push by the offensive line, but it was the tempo that was the result of that play. Vestavia very quickly got to the line, ready to go before the Knights were even set and ready.
Lined up to do it again. Purdy's going to take it left side again, right behind the big blockers. Touchdown Vestavia, first on the boards again tonight. Right behind that line of Stiles and Dill and Caleb Boylan and Wathney and Tucker, and they get it into the end zone for a touchdown.
We said it last week. Anytime you're putting 250-plus yards up rushing the football, your offensive line did something special. They did that last week, and they're off to a good start this week.
LeMaster, who we should see at quarterback at some point tonight, is the backup. He also plays some receiver and running back. He's the holder. He puts it down. Morgan's got the kick up. It's good. Let's take our first commercial break of the night with Vestavia on top. 7-0. Back in a moment on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
From our home base right here in Birmingham, Alabama.
We are here treating patients from every generation,
Across the United States.
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers,
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
Athletic trainers and mentors.
who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you.
Aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
Back with you at Vestavia. 5:32 to go first quarter. Vestavia leads Montgomery Catholic 7-0. Each team's had a drive. The Knights had to punt. Vestavia made a 4th down conversion, kept it going and scored a touchdown, and Morgan's out to kick it off again. Perfect way to start the night if you're Robert Evans and this Vestavia coaching staff. Morgan toes it, line drive kick. It's going to bounce at the 17. Taking it to 5 by Player. He's out to the 20. He's going to be hit and stuck right there by Parker Simpson, and they get him out of bounds.
This is the place where we normally talk about our keys to the game for the Vestavia offense, for the Vestavia defense. But as we were getting ready, for me, the only key to the game this week is stay healthy. I mean, that is the #1 priority for the offense, for the defense, for the special teams, for this entire team.
Do we have that on a graphic? Do we have stay healthy on the graphic?
We were going to, but it didn't. He said that's too simple. We could say it out loud. And that's correct. I mean, that's the focus here. Come out,
it is.
Take care of your business, play the way that you're supposed to play, and stay healthy. And let's get everybody ready for the playoffs next week.
Yeah, and a little extra night's rest playing this game on a Thursday night for both teams enjoying that. We appreciate Montgomery Catholic playing this game. Toss top side. This is their big star player with blockers out there, and a big gain. Fumble's going to go out of bounds as he fumbles it forward, but out to the 36-yard line. Player's got some moves.
Yeah, you see he has some skills. Talking about how this game was scheduled, Clay Chalkville signed up for a 2-year deal to play Vestavia. Last year, Clay Chalkville came here in a game that Vestavia actually won shortly after Clay Chalkville had beaten Thompson. They've now beaten Thompson 3 years in a row, having defeated them again this year. That's a feat in the state of Alabama. But Clay Chalkville did not want to play week 10, and so they canceled this game, and Coach Evans was scrambling to find a game and was able to match up with Montgomery Catholic.
A team that is the 2-time national champions, and they're back in the playoffs as region champions again. This is a handoff to number 7. I got him right here. That's Peyton Finch Ford, a junior running back, and they mix it up a little bit that time to get back to the line of scrimmage.
You talked about those back-to-back state championships, and under head coach Kirk Johnson, how about those records? Year 1, 13-1. Year 2, 13-1. Year 3, 15-0. Year 4, 14-0. And won those state championships both of those last 2 years before leaving to go to Benjamin Russell.
And as a private school, they lost some players too when the coaching staff changed. So a lot of folks didn't know what this program would look like this year. And hats off to Jonathan Chandler, them being good again. Is that an interception? They're going to say incomplete, out of bounds, but what an effort from Owen Wilbanks there, who tried to make a highlight reel catch in the defensive backfield.
That was a really strong play, really strong effort for Owen Wilbanks, diving out there, trying to keep his feet in bounds, but just not quite able to.
One of the better athletes on the team is Wilbanks back there, and he roams free as a free safety, and he's such an important part of what they do in the back end of that defense for Vestavia. 3rd down and 8 now, 4:09 to go first quarter. Vestavia up 7-0. Montgomery Catholic drive stalled about this point on the first opening drive of the night. Get a procedure penalty on them. It's going to back it up and make this 3rd down a little tougher.
Yeah, those are the types of penalties that Montgomery Catholic cannot afford. To be able to stay in this game and be competitive, they are going to have to play a near flawless game. And when you've got a 3rd and 7, that's not great. A 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13 is much more difficult.
Now, they are a team that will occasionally run a gadget play, a flea flicker, and a little trickeration. Let's see if they've got something up the books right here on a big 3rd down play. Nope, straight pass over the middle. They're going to try to cut this yardage in half, and that's about what they do. Is a whole host of rebels stack up the receiver at the 39-yard line.
And look at those blue jerseys around that football. In that formation, we saw something similar to what we saw Vestavia run last week for a 2-point conversion. Against Hoover, you have 4 guys down linemen rushing, 7 defenders right there at the sticks.
Michael Sheffield, their senior guy, big receiver, big production guy, makes the catch but can't get the other 6 yards for the 1st down, so they're out to punt again.
Coach Evans didn't like something that he saw on the special teams, so he's going to take a timeout.
Yeah, it could be a teaching moment right here. You don't have the right people on the field, didn't come off, didn't go on, and well, we may have a little bit of an injury here. Is that Richardson a little banged up? They're walking him over towards the 10th there as Daniel was struggling a little bit. Timeout as we look down at the huddle. And we'll watch Daniel work his way towards the 10th there, walking with a little bit of a limp. I didn't see what happened to him.
I didn't either, but clearly Coach Evans saw that something wasn't right. That's what caused him to call the timeout. And you have to think in this ball game, if anybody even has sort of a limp, that's probably going to be the end for them for this evening, just to make sure, again, because the key is, yeah, you want to win the ball game, but you want to be crisp, you want to be sharp, but more importantly, you want to stay healthy.
Richardson is into our trainer's tent, the injury tent on the near sidelines, and we'll try to keep an eye on him, but you're absolutely right. If you're banged up a little bit, let's rest and get ready for Auburn next week. Again, we invite you all to go on the road with us next week down to Auburn, that 1st round game. It'll be in one of the great high school atmospheres in the state, and it'll be a big one for Vestavia, 2 of the better teams in the state. A rematch of a week 2 game here on the Vestavia campus. Luke Stubbs is back. He's the return guy. The kick's going to be shorter and is going to bounce at the 40 and bounce towards Robert Evans and out of bounds right at the 40. So 2 punts, and Stubbs twice hasn't been able to return either one of them.
And the other thing about Auburn, going to Auburn, Duck Sanford Stadium, the name of the stadium there. The last time Vestavia went there was 2 years ago. It was the 2nd game of the regular season, and Auburn defeated Vestavia 52-17 in that game, and it wasn't that close. I mean, it was a game where Auburn just controlled it from the get-go. Obviously, Vestavia comes back, wins 42-14 this year, but I think everybody expects that to just be a slugfest back and forth.
Charlie Tapp is back out at quarterback with a little pressure. He's going to escape the pocket, still look downfield. Still looking. Finally, he's going to let one zip, and it's complete to Stubbs, who falls forward to the 45-yard line of Montgomery Catholic in this 1st down. Patient and a good job blocking out there on the right side of that line to sort of force the pressure out of the pocket and clear away for Charlie to make a pass.
We typically say do not throw the ball back across your body, but Taft saw Stubbs the entire time, saw him coming back to the middle, did a great job of being patient, as you said, and delivering a strike.
Law's in motion. They're going to throw it back to him in a little wide receiver screen, and now the turf monster is going to get him after 1-yard gain. Trying to get some blockers there. Laws so fast, almost beat the blockers to that play a little bit.
Didn't quite develop the way the Rebels would have liked it to, and because of that, Laws tried to bail out and come back to the near side, but slipped down.
2nd and 9, quick pitch near side, and some running room. This is the big man Purdy, and he still on his feet. Wow! Walking the sidelines for the first down. Great run from Purdy.
And Purdy there on the sideline trying to jump back up a little too quickly. He falls down on the track, but he seems to be okay. And he'll bounce off after what was a great run on the speed option.
Yeah, fighting on the sidelines to get that extra yard. That's enough for a first down, so it's 1st and 10, Vestavia at the 34. Here's Taft with it, looking for everything. Throwing for Stubbs, just out of his reach.
That's the 2nd time the Rebels have gone deep to Stubbs. The first one was a really strong pass. It was well defended by Montgomery Catholic. That one thrown just a little too far, about 2 or 3 yards outside the reach of Stubbs.
That's one thing I'm sure you noticed when you looked at the Knights defense. They will stack the box like they are right now with 7 guys in the box, and sometimes you have to throw it over the top of them.
Take a shot, and that's what they expected coming into this ball game, is they would crowd him, try to force him to throw the football.
Charlie, quick pass over the middle. That's going to be incomplete as Laws was guarded there on the defensive side by Barranco. Pressure got on Charlie really quick that time.
Montgomery Catholic, knowing they have to take some chances to try to speed things up for the Rebels, that time brought pressure. Taft threw it a little high and a little behind Laws across the middle. And it was actually well defended in the secondary as well for Montgomery Catholic. So they've essentially crowded everything to the inside. That's where the Rebels went, and that's what resulted in the incomplete pass.
3rd down and 10. Great camera work looking at our huddle there from our student run production, man. Just a great job all year by the entire crew. Just been a fantastic season. Once again, our shift's going to get them to jump into the neutral zone. That's going to be 5 free yards for the Rebels.
That's why you do those types of things, and we've seen it. No matter how many times the Rebels have done it throughout the year, it still continues to work. It feels like maybe once a game at least it works. So far in the first quarter of this game, it's worked twice.
Opens up that playbook now on a 3rd and 5 is what the stick says. 3rd down and 5 at the 29. On a drive, 2nd one of the night. Charlie's going to keep this with running room. Here goes Charlie. 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
And what you love about that play, first off, nice read by Charlie Taft to go with the keep. Good job by the offensive line to make room. And then as Taft got to the middle, he just accelerated and exploded into the end zone for 6.
Underrated speed, I think, in Charlie Taft.
The kid can do so many things at the quarterback position. Throw it, run it, make wise decisions, and his play has been so key for this Vestavia offense all season long.
13-0, 2-point conversion now. LeMaster keeps it, walks in easily for 2 more, and that was a big moment in the game last week after the commercial break. Tell me how important sneaking a 2-point conversion is. Vestavia just did it again, 15-0 on Montgomery Catholic. Quick timeout right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Lines up in a awkward PAT situation. Why sneak in 2 points? It was a big difference last week. We just did it there. How does that help you, and why do you do it?
First off, Coach Evans is big on analytics, and so everything, decisions he's making are analytics based, and what gives my team the best chance to win a football game. So every time they line up for an extra point, they separate the linemen one side, some are around the ball, and Price LeMaster's come up, he's reading that, and he knows the numbers, and he knows where the blockers have to be, and he knows what the formation has to be, and if it's an opportunity to run it and you have the numbers, they'll make that call and they'll go with it.
Is it a green light situation?
I think there's certainly some red light situations where he doesn't have the authority to do it. I think in some situations it absolutely is, where he has the ability to do that. And you talked about last week. So, and let me say this, and sometimes you are going to do this, even if maybe the numbers don't work out, we're still going to do it. But last week, where Hoover had all the momentum. They were up 10-0. Vestavia put together a drive, went down and scored. That was good. But then getting that 2-point conversion, instead of 10-7, it went to 10-8. That felt like a big play in that ballgame that just kind of said, wait a minute, we're right back in this thing after we were almost seemingly out of it. And that was a huge play in the ballgame.
And it seemed to, that extra point seemed to haunt Hoover all night long. Matthew Patilla, Parker Simpson on the tackle on the kick coverage, and this is Montgomery Catholic's third possession, throw out near side, and look at that defensive play, reading the comeback pass. That's 24 Rush Harper. You don't play defense any better than that.
Went with the slip screen. Rush Harper was rushing. As soon as he saw the ball let go, he spun around and just gobbled up the receiver, Michael Sheffield.
Well, there are certain guys on the team, everybody's playing well, but I believe Rush Harper, Parker Simpson, Owen Wilbanks, Daniel Richardson, they're on this defensive side of the ball sort of peaking right now. Ussery was doing that last week too. And just a great job by this defense. Here comes the pursuit. They're going to have to throw it away. That's because Walker Hogue was all over the quarterback there.
Hogue with pressure. You talk about those guys that you just mentioned.
Wait, did he catch that? I thought he was throwing it away. That's a completion.
Oh, yeah, it was a great play.
Oh, my
great
goodness.
play down the field. But the
That's
leading tacklers for the Rebels last week, Walker Hogue with 8, Rush Harper with 7, Owen Wilbanks with 6. You talked about those seniors stepping up and making those plays even after that catch there.
That's why you don't want me on your team. I gave up on that play. I thought he was throwing it away. Great completion out to the 47-yard line for Montgomery Catholic. 1st and 10 for them as they are in their best drive position of the night, down 15-0 as we approach the end of the first quarter. Pass play, here comes the pressure, and down he goes. What a pursuit by Walker Hogue. He came untouched off the edge and gets the sack.
Great pressure getting in the backfield, coming from the backside of the quarterback, C.J. Sankey. Sankey saw it at the last minute, tried to peel out, but just couldn't get out of there in time on the great pressure by Hogue.
And that's the end of the first quarter. What a way to send us to break. Vestavia with the sack and the lead, 15-0 over Montgomery Catholic on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
We're proudly local, headquartered in Birmingham with offices in Vestavia Hills in Austin, Texas. A family of companies, Molecular Designs and Streamline Scientific, serving labs nationwide. We develop smarter molecular tools, from advanced PCR assays to improved sample collection and rapid extraction systems, plus seamless lab software. Together, we're a family of companies, simplifying, advancing, and empowering labs across America. Streamline Scientific and Molecular Designs. Local innovation, national impact, serving labs nationwide. Let's go Rebels!
Heading to the second quarter now, and you were making a point watching the huddle in the commercial break there.
Yeah, Coach Evans was animated during that quarter break, and I think that's part of what he was concerned about is really, can you get up for this game? After last week and the transition to this week, the stakes are not as high, the crowd is not as big, the atmosphere is not as strong. Can he get his guys up? It was a pretty good first quarter, but Montgomery Catholic's had some nice plays offensively. He was coaching those guys very, very hard, trying to raise that intensity level.
We'll try to get you an update on 18, Daniel Richardson, here in a little bit. I see him on the sidelines right now. Running play to start the second quarter from Catholic. And he is stacked up over there. Will Banks is in there. So too is number 10. And of course, that is Will Botnick in making the play as well. Second down, make that a third down play now in 15 after the sack that took us to break. Good to see Botnick out there making a pursuit. 4 down linemen had dropped back into pass coverage on a third and long play from Vestavia. Sankey throws it out in the flats, but there's Rebels everywhere. Great defensive play out there. Had it read all along. That's 25 Patilla, the senior, in his final regular season home game.
That was a nice job by Patilla. He read that play right away, took off towards the receiver, seemed to realize I might get there a little bit early, so he slowed down, allowed the catch to be made, and then wrapped up and made the tackle, which is going to force Montgomery Catholic to punt it away.
4th and 11. Another punt situation. Stubbs is back. He's yet to return one tonight. Good pressure on the punt. This is the best punt, but it's going to sail out of bounds, and Stubbs is 0 for 3 trying to touch one. 10:36 to go first half. Vestavia on top.
And going back to the punt, how about that punt last week? Cannot say enough about the punt play. Hoover backed up, punting out of their own end zone. Charlie Taff and Stubbs both come out to return it. Taff catches it, throws it back to Stubbs, who scores a touchdown. Great call by you on that play. It went semi-viral out there on the internet. But that was just an awesome play. And talk about just incredible atmosphere. Just awesome.
Charlie Taff still in there. The pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. It was intended for Boylan, who had come out of the backfield in the slot. 2nd down and 10.
He had some open space that the ball had been able to be delivered. And I think you'll see, I'm sure they're still going to run the football, but I think what Vestavia would really like to see is have Taff throw this thing a good bit here in this second quarter.
Charlie's got somebody back in the backfield with him, and they're going to hand it off to Boylan this time. He's going to follow his blockers and get 7 yards on the 2nd down play. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Vestavia's going to go with tempo here on this 3rd down. Montgomery Catholic looking to the sideline, trying to get the defensive call. Vestavia back up to the line with 31 seconds on the play clock.
They've got 7 in the box. Is that going to be enough? Nope. Charlie keeps it. 1st down and more across midfield into the night territory.
Nice job of reading that defense. It's a zone read there. So
that box, that box emptied out following the fake.
And if you do that correctly, you block it up, and if the read is correct for the quarterback, you're going to have an opportunity to pick up a nice gain, as Taft did there.
1st and 10 at their 49 now. Charlie throws it back to Boylan quickly. Can't get a handle on it, and he drops it. The pressure was in Charlie's face. He had to get rid of it.
Nice play design there by Vestavia. Brought Stubbs in motion. He curled behind the quarterback on the fake and then threw a strike to Boylan coming out of the backfield, but just not quite able to hold on.
Happened so quickly because of the pressure, and Boylan couldn't quite get it around. He's going to run it this time. Boylan on the left side. Going to get a couple of yards. Great work out there by Grafney trying to throw a block.
Frederick Lewis made that tackle for Montgomery Catholic, and a good read there by the Knights to snuff out that play and make the tackle.
3rd down and 8. Charlie Taff with sleeves on tonight. Gets the guys set back there. Purdy's to his right. Straight pass. He's going to roll near side. He's got Purdy protecting for him. Going to throw, and it's complete out to Stubbs, who's going to fight forward for the 1st down, and Vestavia's drive will continue.
Good job by Stubbs of understanding where the 1st down marker was, getting there, making the catch, and then falling forward. Zach Laws in the route as well. He slipped down and fell, and so really it turned into a one-man route.
Laws did such a great job returning last week in the Hoover win. Pitch this side to Purdy. Purdy's on the run across the 30 down to the 29, and a late flag comes in. Could be a blocking violation against Vestavia where that flag is thrown. We'll see.
Going to get holding likely against Vestavia, but before that, Grayson Harper had a great block for the Rebels.
Holding against Vestavia is going to back us up 10 and put us behind the sticks a little bit. It's going to be about, I'm going to estimate, about 1st and 17. From the spot foul, right?
Right. Ended up being 18, but you're really
18,
close.
I'm guesstimation, you know. This far into the season, I feel like I'm a veteran, you know. I'm missing only half the names. I missed an incomplete pass, calling it a throwaway earlier. Missed that one only by a yard. That's close for me, man. 1st and 18 for Vestavia. Charlie on the handoff far side. That's to Grayson Harper. And Grayson Harper gets all that yardage back and sets us up in a good position on 2nd down.
Grayson Harper, such a critical part of this Vestavia offense. He started out with a bang in the early going, just so multiple, like a Swiss Army knife, can be used in so many different ways. He was injured for a little bit, but he's coming back and really has hit his stride.
It's him in motion again. He's going to be in the route as Taft goes deep for the end zone. Touchdown, Vestavia. That's Luke Stubbs again.
3rd time's a charm for Taff and Stubbs. They've tried 2 deep balls earlier in the ball game to Stubbs, not quite able to convert, but that time just a beautiful ball into the end zone. Nice play by Stubbs. 6 points for the Rebs.
Boy, Charlie's throwing the football so well this time of year right now. That was spot on again. Touchdown comes at 8:05, 21-0. Vestavia leads at extra point coming up. LeMaster will hold again. Sloan Morgan, the sophomore, has done such a great job taking over the kicking duties this year, trying to tack it and make it 22. The kick is up, and it is good. 22-0 with 8:05 to go in the half. Rebels on top on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Baptist Health is on your team. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Baptist Health, on your team, on and off the field.
Down on the sidelines, a tradition, the Minions at work.
Halloween costume nights. And those guys are getting their work in. 22 right now, they're all here. Gonna be here all night. Doing a great job.
If you know, you know. I like the boots and the blue jeans look. Blue jean shorts and boots. Good to point out that Morgan Wallen coming in concert at Bryant-Denny Stadium. That was announced. That'll be the first concert in Bryant-Denny Stadium since 1983.
Wow.
So they're opening up that venue for a concert. You can wear your blue jean shorts and boots to that thing. Oh, miscommunications. Luckily going to go all the way to the end zone for Montgomery Catholic. You got it, I got it, right? No harm, no foul there. And it's the 20-yard line when Montgomery Catholic will take over. 22-0. We're right here. Actually, we're not. We should tell people while we're here on YouTube, where can we actually watch the game next week?
So due to AHSAA rules, we cannot offer this YouTube broadcast next week, but we will still be doing the broadcast. You can find us on the NFHS network. It is a subscription service, so you have to have a subscription. I think there's some kind of trial subscription sometimes that you can get, but we will be live next week. Go on the air at 6:45 from Auburn to show Vestavia versus Auburn in the first round of the playoffs, but will only be available on the NFHS network.
Draw plays for Montgomery Catholic as they get stacked up over there. One of the guys in on the play is 39. That's Grayer Manown, as he helped drag the running back to the ground player for them back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Grayer Manown's another guy that's really stepped up, especially the second half of the season, has a huge asset to this Vestavia defense.
Sankey on the quarterback keeper this time, faked the pitch and went up the middle for some good yardage. Gets him into a manageable 3rd down situation. 3rd and 3 for them as they run with some pace. Vestavia tries to get lined up. Sankey's going to toss it to player far side. He slips, he goes down, actually going to lose a yard. Manown out there again. Also Bachnick out there on the defense, and it's going to be a 4th down and even further back. We're going to call it 4th and 5.
Looks like the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen a night ball carrier slip down and fall. We've seen that several times throughout the season. Various teams here at Thompson-Riddle Stadium, and that goes to the Rebels' advantage there, and the Knights will line up to punt it away.
Clock rolling, 6:48. 22-0, and Vestavia about to get the ball back. Stubbs stands at his own 42-yard line. Here comes the pressure. The kick is away, though. Stubbs is not going to be able to return this one either as it goes floating out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark it. Actually going to mark it where it hit out of bounds at the 40, and that's where Vestavia will take over.
Vestavia will take over, and I think Charlie Taft's evening is over. He ends the night 6 of 11 through the air, 81 yards, and that touchdown pass to Luke Stubbs. He also carried it 3 times for 54 yards.
So there's number 9, Price LeMaster, who's also a junior. He's out there at quarterback. Still a lot of the ones out there with him, though. Handoff is going to go to one of those ones. That's Carson Purdy, who's going to carry a couple of Knights with him across midfield, inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line, and a 1st down Vestavia.
Great run by Purdy. The tackle made by Cam Griffin. He's a freshman defensive back.
LeMaster, nobody in the backfield with him as we're going to spread it out. So it's either a LeMaster run or pass here. At least that formation indicates. But here comes Stubbs near side, swings out to him. It's going to be incomplete as he had pressure in his face. It's going to be one of those extended running plays with Stubbs to work it out to him in the flats, but couldn't get the ball to him.
That's one thing about Vestavia's offense. You see passes that are really just extensions of the run game. And really in a lot of the modern football today, that's such an important part. It's different guys that maybe receivers touching the ball, but it really is just a run play.
Tight formation, pitch goes to Stubbs, left side with blockers. Going to get a big chunk of the yardage down to the 37-yard line.
And that's another perfect example. That'll go down as a pass because the ball was popped forward and a receiver caught that ball, but that's just a counter play. It's blockers pulling around, going up front, and it's a run, but it's really a pass.
3rd and 4, handoff is to Purdy. He's going to get stacked up, a rarity at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to set up a 4th down play, and no sign of the punt team running out.
Back-to-back nice stops by Montgomery Catholic. The defense really bowed up there and forces Vestavia into a 4th down play. The Knights have been unable to make that big play so far tonight. We'll see what they can do here. Vestavia is 3 of 5 on 3rd downs.
Josh Franklin. I'll ask you a question. Remind me of a question I need to ask you here after this 4th down play. Trying to get the 1st down to keep the drive going. Getting lined up, a little confusion on the lineup, and they're going to call a timeout. Let's keep it right here. I want to ask you a question because you know Auburn will get this tape before you play a playoff game next week. Do you use good 4th down play here, or do you use something here on 4th down that maybe if you're in a 4th down situation next week that you maybe play off of and do something different? How do you do that if do you play mind games like that? Do you even think about that?
Well, I hope they don't listen to the audio of my answer here that we're about to give. But I think you don't use your best 4th down play. Right. But I think you can use things. There's 2 schools of thought there, right? It's A, I hide the stuff. I don't want to show my best stuff to get ready for that big game. Or it's B, I throw the kitchen sink at them in this game, so that gives them more things that they have to prepare for. And I think that's one thing with Vestavia offense, because they have so many different parts of their offense. I think it makes it really, really hard. So I think you're going to run a play that's going to help you convert and pick up the 4th down, or pick up the 1st down on this 4th down. But no, your best 4th down play, you don't use that here.
Yeah, I've got friends in coaching who there are certain coaching staffs that you don't want to do the prep on. You'd rather, in a short week for the playoffs, you'd rather have somebody else to prepare for. Vestavia is one of those staffs. Here's LeMaster rolling near side. Great throw. It's going to go incomplete, though, as Laws can't grab it. He was guarded out there by their best defender, Barranco, who was all over Laws. Incomplete on the 4th down play, and Montgomery Catholic will take over.
That ball thrown a little bit behind him. Stubbs was starting to break free deep, but really tough for LeMaster because he was on the run. And to throw that deep ball on a corner route while sprinting out to the right is a difficult throw. Went for the shorter route, but just not quite able to reel it in.
Big stop by the Knights there, and they'll try to get some points before the half. 5:03 to go first half. Vestavia on top, 22-0. All those points coming when Charlie Taft, the starter, was in the game at quarterback. LeMaster took over on his first drive the last time. Sankey steps up, little off-foot throw, complete, big yardage down the far sideline, inside the 30 to the 28. And that's a 1st down catch by their playmaker, Michael Sheffield.
Sheffield done a really good job of getting open. Looked like a busted coverage there by Vestavia. This was a guy that Coach Evans really liked watching the film this week. So this is a guy that flashes Wes Welker-like in the way he runs his routes. Does a really nice job and has done a really nice job all season long, and broke open there for the big catch.
He's a senior for them, and he shows up on the stat sheet everywhere. Big production guy. 1st and 10 for the Knights down to the 29-yard line. Little slip, but a pass from Sankey to a wide open receiver and touchdown. Same connection again. Sankey to Sheffield and a touchdown.
And just well executed, and that was 2 busted coverages on that defensive series. And this is still the starting secondary in this ball game for Vestavia. Just completely missed those coverages. Wide open receivers running free, and well executed by Montgomery Catholic to put 6 points on the board, their first score.
22-6. They're going to go for the kick on the extra point. Their kicker is J.P. Costa. J.P. puts the foot into it. It is over in, nope, no good, just right. Pushed it a little right, no good. 22-6, Vestavia leads it. We'll get another Rebel drive when we come back right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Back here at Vestavia, we'll talk bracket again later on in the game, maybe a couple of more times to show you the path for a deep run for your Vestavia Rebels. But again, next week at Auburn. And we love it when you watch us, but we really want, if you can, to pack up and go on down and cheer the guys on in person. As many Rebel Nation folks as you can get in the stands, the better on this trip to Auburn next week. 7 o'clock kick on Friday night, a week from tomorrow. November football, always the best kind of football. That means you're in the playoffs in our state. Kick's going to go out of bounds. Very heads-up play there by Laws not to touch that thing.
Hit the ground, which is what you do not like, but Vestavia got a favorable bounce, and that ball went out of bounds. And now, just like that, Charlie Taft's going to come back in the game as Montgomery Catholic went down and scored. And I think one thing for Coach Evans, and this is the balance of how much do you play the starters versus not. The most important thing is what is the intensity level from his team. And you just see on the sideline, he does not like the intensity level that he's getting out of his kids. And it's hard. He played such an emotional game last week. This is, in theory, will have no impact. It has no impact on your playoff seeding, or it's just about finishing the season strong. And he wants to see that intensity level. He probably hasn't gotten it to the degree he'd like.
Handoff is going to go to Boylan. He's going to work his way out to near the 40-yard line. Gets a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 pace as they get lined up. Charlie's getting everybody in place. And they got Purdy out there with him right now. Fake it to Purdy, looking downfield. Tap, punch, throws, complete. On the way to the end zone, there goes Stubbs again. Touchdown, Vestavia.
That's the kind of football plays that you like to see. Just a beautiful throw and catch from Charlie Taft to Luke Stubbs. So on the last 2 drives, those 2 that ended in a score ended with a Taft pass to Stubbs for 6.
Beautiful throw from Charlie again, 28-6. Man, Stubbs is having his way now with that secondary from Montgomery Catholic. Extra point coming up. LeMaster's out there, and they're going to go for 2 again. LeMaster fakes the pitch, keeps it up the middle. It's good for 2 more points for Vestavia, and it's 30-6 now. 30-6, and a great drive from Charlie and the ones, putting a little separation. The Minions are doing push-ups again. We're on our way to break. This is the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
For more than 50 years, Senator Jabba Wagner has served Alabama with honor and called Vestavia Hills home. Thank you, Senator Wagner, for your historic legacy of service.
Had some new folks in there doing some push-ups on that last one.
Cheerleaders have Halloween costumes on as well. We got a king.
Had a king, a princess, looked like a
duck, George Washington.
Yep, and maybe Alexander Hamilton. Vestavia's firing their shot right now, 30-6. You know, they lead Montgomery Catholic. 3:53 to go first half. Morgan on the kick. Going to be taking it to 5. Return, trying to find a seam, is Player. He's going to get it out to the 29. On the tackle over there is Wilbanks. A lot of people slow getting up over there. Big collision right there at the 29-yard line. Injured player. Let's take a timeout as well. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
From our home base right here in Birmingham, Alabama.
We are here, treating patients from every generation,
Across the United States.
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers,
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you.
Aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
Vestavia Rebels gathered on the sideline as we still work an injury on the field. 3:45 to go in the first half.
And as you get to week 10, you start to think back to the season and how did it go and how did we get here? And there's the season for Vestavia. Started back on August 22nd, also on a Thursday night. West Side out of South Carolina came to town. Vestavia got the win, big win against Auburn. Went on the road and lost to Hewitt-Trussville. Got a huge win against Hillcrest that kind of set the tone. Lost to Thompson and have now won 4 in a row. Region games, including that big win against Hoover, and tried to finish it up here 5 in a row after the off week.
And yes, that Auburn team you saw in week 2 is the team you play in the first round of the playoffs, this time on the road. Tackle made right there. Big stack-up defensive play. And that is number 56, Haynes Bridges, in there with the tackle. Way to go, Haynes, and gets a big play in there, and that's going to stack them up for a loss, 2nd and 12.
And with Ussery out, that puts even more pressure on Haynes Bridges, on Arundel, really step up on that defensive line and put pressure on the opponent's offensive line.
Haynes catches a lot of double teams over that center, that nose position. Pass over the middle complete, and then stacked up right there by Lawson Manown. He was on the defense.
Good read by Manown, dropped back into coverage, allowed that play to develop right in front of him, and then made a strong tackle. So I think Vestavia has done a nice job of tonight. Very sound tackling, not allowing the ball carriers to break free or get extra yards after contact.
3rd down and 5. Make that 3rd and 4 now for Montgomery Catholic as they're trying to get a drive going with 2:35 to go in the half. Montgomery Catholic's going to want a timeout here as they were running out of time on the play clock. So you wanted to talk more about something.
Well, talking about the playoffs and the way it's going to shake out. And obviously, Vestavia's playing Auburn. Auburn's currently ranked number 4 in the state. Vestavia's currently ranked number 2 in the state. So in the first round of the playoffs, we have number 2 playing number 4.
Yeah.
We also have Central Phoenix City, number 1, playing number 9, Hoover. We have Thompson and Central Phoenix City, who've won the last 7 state championships in a row. One of those schools has. They're on the same side of the bracket, despite being number 1 and number 3 in the playoffs. This year, Region 2 is matched up against Region 3. Those are the best 2. Think of those if college football, that's the SEC and the Big Ten. Those 2 schools are matched up against each other. Region 4 and Region 1 are also matched up against each other. Region 1 is down in Mobile. Region 4 is in Huntsville.
Yeah.
That would be something like, let's call Region 4 the Big 12. And let's call Region 1 maybe
the ACC.
I wouldn't call it that high, maybe a little lower, a lower
group of 5
type school. And so it's just a mix match with the way that everything is played out. And we'll talk about it a little bit more. But having Region 2 and Region 3 matched up is so difficult. You have 7 schools in the top 10 from those 2 schools, and they're all matched up in the first round of the playoffs.
2:25 to go in the half. 30-6, Vestavia leads Montgomery Catholic in the final regular season game of the year. 3rd down play as Sankey goes far side. He's being pressured, and he's going to throw this one away into the sideline as he had a couple of Rebels in pursuit there.
Grayer Manow did a great job of getting into the backfield.
Walker Hogue was also back there with him in pursuit. It's going to force a 4th down and another punting situation for J.P. Costa. He's been busy tonight.
And he's not punting the ball to Luke Stubbs. He's made a concerted effort to kick the ball out of bounds, not going to allow Stubbs to make some type of big play in the special teams.
2:16 to go. Here comes the pressure. Just missed a block back there. That one's going to settle down, but that was 26 Walker Hogue, which was so close to getting a block on that rugby-style punt.
Hogue was really, really close. Coach Evans out past the numbers. Luke Stubbs got out of the way, but then got a little too close to that football. You want to get completely away as that ball is rolling. and being down by the kicking team.
No indecision at that. Either you catch it or you get out of the way.
That's correct.
You go be aggressive and catch it, or you get out of the way. Don't get caught in the middle. Is that Charlie back out there still?
Still in the ball game.
Charlie Taft still there. Going to swing back the pass far side. That, of course, on the flip side, and off to the races is Luke Stubbs. The big man is down to the 32. Just a hard guy to tackle.
The Knights did a good job of recovering. There were blockers out there. Stubbs had an opportunity to get to the edge. I didn't catch the number of the offensive lineman. He did an excellent job of getting to the outside and giving Stubbs a chance, but good recovery by the Knights.
Little pitch this time to Purdy. Purdy is going to try to work off a blocker, lower his shoulder pads, and get down to the 29. Going to be a flag here, make it a holding penalty.
I think that was Jackson Deal down the field blocking for the Rebels on that last slip screen. This time, penalty against the Rebels. Going to back them up 10.
Yeah, I think because of the way Purdy was working off of that block, it may have got Laws into a bad position and got caught with a holding penalty on somebody out there, and it's going to back the Rebels up 10.
You have to think that this is the last series for the Vestavia starters, especially offensively here. But I think for Coach, you'd like to see kind of a 2-minute drill type situation. Can you move the ball down the field just to get that work in?
First down and 20. Clock rolling at 1:22. They empty the backfield and they send Purdy to the bottom of the screen. Stubbs is at the top. Taft has got the football, looks downfield, over the middle, just out of the reach for Laws. Zach can't catch up to it, and that one's incomplete.
Looked like Laws was settling down, kind of sitting down in front of the defenders. Taft expected him to continue going, so that ball was thrown a little bit out front and fell incomplete.
Second down and 20 now for Vestavia as the ball sits at the Montgomery Catholic 42-yard line. 30-6, trying to get more points before the half. You'll see the band coming up at halftime. Charlie drops back, swings the pass out with blockers now. Here goes Purdy, and he's going to be tackled there. Really good defensive play by number 11 for them. That's Frederick Lewis.
Excellent effort down the field by Pearson Tucker, coming from his offensive line spot and flying down the field, trying to assist on that one.
Third down and 13 for Vestavia. Clock's at 43 seconds. Charlie over the middle, incomplete. And again, he and Laws not on the same page.
Just both of those routes, it seems like they just weren't quite expecting each other to be in the same spot. Taft thinking Laws will be in one place, Laws thinking he should make another decision. He's explaining that to offensive coordinator Josh Franklin on the sidelines of what he expects him to do. On the fourth down, Vestavia for the first time tonight will punt it away.
61 Copeland Styles, the left tackle, comes off the field, and he is favoring his left arm as he comes off. The punt from Morgan is away, taken inside the 5 and out across the 12-yard line. And you get Brody Glenn down there, the long snapper, who's down there to make a play. Good job by Brody to get down there after the snap to make the tackle at the 10-yard line, and that's where Vestavia's defense will run back out there.
The great thing about this time of year is that it's playoff time in football. Everything's cranking up. The World Series going on in baseball, but high school basketball about to start. And so at halftime, we're going to have interviews with both the men's and the women's head basketball coaches here at Vestavia Hills High School.
All right, 26 seconds. We'll see how Montgomery Catholic plays this here. Down 30-6, but back way up at their own end of the field. Just a simple handoff right up the middle. A tackle for a loss, and we're going to let the clock run out here, and that's going to end the first half, or are they going to run another play?
Well, you can see Peyton Pinch Ford had clear instructions, do not fumble the football. He was wrapped up.
Yeah. He
was not going to let that ball come out of his hands, and I think for Montgomery Catholic, they'll be just fine headed to the locker room, and for Coach Evans, they'll take a 30-6 lead into the half.
That's exactly what they did on the final regular season home game. Hopefully not the final home game of the year. Hopefully we do some work in the playoffs and get back here to Buddy Anderson Field again in November. But at least the scheduled games, the last time facility. And we'll hear from the band and a lot more when we come back right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success.
It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Baptist Health is on your team. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Baptist Health, on your team, on and off the field.
We are now pleased to be joined by head women's basketball coach Crosby Morrison. Coach, welcome to this interview and welcome to Vestavia, your first season. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So I am coming from Pelham. This will be my 10th year as a head coach, 12th year in coaching. I spent 7 years at Pelham, had a wonderful time there, great people, some great teams, good kids come through there, and I'm really excited to be at Vestavia.
Yeah, and so obviously you had great success at Pelham, built that program up. Why Vestavia? What made you choose this job?
Well, Vestavia has an undeniable sense of community, tenacity, never quit attitude. If you were to look at them, they might be outmatched in size and strength, but they're never outmatched in heart, and I've always had the utmost respect for the teams that have come through here, and some really, really special players. But it seemed that every person on the bench had a role and a place in that program, and that's just an undeniable heart piece of the team that's really attractive.
Practice is underway, games in another week or two. If someone comes out to watch your teams play, what are they going to see under a Coach Morrison coach team?
Well, we're going to keep the same culture going that Vestavia girls basketball is known for, and it's playing fast, playing tough, playing gritty, and playing together. And practice has been going great. We've got a great group of girls returning, a lot of young kids that will be playing, and a lot of new names that will surprise a lot of people that are going to have a really good season.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting to watch. Obviously, a great group of seniors that Vestavia had last year. Those are graduated. Talk about some of the girls that we will see on the court.
Well, the last year seniors, obviously, they were a fantastic group, but what the stat sheet will not show and what their record will not show is the leadership that they showed to this younger group. This younger group knows how to practice, they know how to lead, and you can just see the legacy that the previous seniors and the previous groups have left on this upcoming team. And they not only want to leave a legacy as well, but they want to leave their own memory, own legacy, and lasting respect to the younger group.
Well, we look forward to watching it. We encourage everyone to come out and watch. That's head women's basketball coach Crosby Morrison.
From our home base right here in Birmingham, Alabama.
We are here treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers
trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you,
aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
We are back at the half with head men's basketball coach Patrick Davis. Coach, thanks for joining us. You're now about to kick off year 10 as a head coach here at Vestavia Hills High School. Just talk about the program and what's occurred over the last 10 years since you took over.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. It's crazy to think that it's been 10 years. There's days it definitely doesn't seem like it's been that long, but yeah, starting year 10 here and kind of thinking back over the last decade, it's been an awesome job. This is a great place to work, and I feel like we've done some good things with the program. You know, we've got a Final Four appearance, multiple regional finals, and you know, a slew of playoff appearances. But you know, ultimately, those are really fun. But you start thinking back at to the players that have been through here that are now so many of them productive young men in our society, and you know, it's been a whole lot of fun building something and seeing progress through young men that have given a lot to us.
Now for this season, practice has started, you're underway. Talk about some of the kids this year that we'll see on the court and kind of what you're expecting.
Yeah, smaller senior group than we normally have, 4 seniors for us, you know, and we're very much a developmental program. So, you know, it's not uncommon for us to go, hey, we're replacing our leading scorer, or replacing our leading rebounder. You know, it's just kind of the way we go about it, and it's very common that seniors lead us, and I think there's a lot of value to that. And like I said, 4 seniors this year. Emery Bear has the most experience for us. He was a sophomore varsity guy, and we'll expect him, you know, to kind of take a role of leadership both in the locker room and in production on the floor. Brett Brown, John Allen Harper, Zach Cunningham being our other seniors that you know, that have matured a lot as seniors tend to do over the years, and so very solid group that has really led us in the preseason and showed the younger guys kind of how we do things as seniors did for them. So it's been fun to watch them develop.
And they'll get the challenge of playing a really difficult schedule in a really tough region, but it all cranks up on November 11th.
Yeah, I mean, we you know, we try our best to put a schedule together that's challenging, a schedule that emulates some of the area opponents that we have. Try to do that in our non-area schedule. So yeah, our area is loaded. It always is. You know, that's 7A everything: basketball, baseball, football. You name it. I mean, you play 7A. Especially in the Birmingham metro area, like you're playing the best of the best, and you're coaching against the best. And I remember somebody told me a long time ago, around here, you're not going to out-coach many people. You're going to have to coach your tail off just to not get out-coached, and that's fun. You know, like it makes it to where, you know, when there's no layups anywhere, there's no easy layups in your schedule. It really builds a situation where your kids know, like, we got to bring it every night. Like, we don't have these games where our kids just know, all right, the bus got here, we're good. You know, we've got to bring it every night, and that's fun because, you know, like we tell our kids, how many different ways can we translate what we're doing basketball-wise to life? I mean, that's life. Like, you got to bring it every day, and so it's fun to know that the schedule's tough, and you're going to have to play really well every night to win games, and that's what we expect to do.
Well, we look forward to watching it all season long. Kicks off on November 11th. That's head men's basketball coach Patrick Davis.
At Taylor Burton Company, we've been building and remodeling homes in Vestavia Hills since 1986. That's back when shoulder pads weren't just for football. This isn't just where we work, it's home. We live here, we raise our families here. Our kids all wore the Rebel jersey under these Friday night lights. That's why we care so deeply about what we do. Quality, craftsmanship, and community. That's what we're built on.
Right when I toured Stanford's campus, I immediately felt a communal atmosphere and environment.
A lot of parents, they're looking for a place where their children can come, they can continue to grow in Christ, they can feel safe, and they can be encouraged and motivated.
We promise them that when they come, they're going to be surrounded by people who love them, who help them to find meaning and purpose in their life, and who really help them to flourish and become the men and women that God is calling them to be.
Out of every place that I could have gone, this was the place for me.
For more than 50 years, Senator Jabal Wagner has served Alabama with honor and called Vestavia Hills home. Thank you, Senator Wagner, for your historic legacy of service.
Time, and it's 30-6 Vestavia leading Montgomery Catholic. The Knights in town, but the Rebels leading it. And at halftime, you know what that means. It's time for the Vestavia Hills Marching Band. Let's listen in to their halftime performance wrapping up their regular season.
We present our 2025 show entitled One Short Day, featuring the music from the hit Broadway musical Wicked. Please welcome the Vestavia Hills High School Rebel Marching Band.
time from the Vestavia Hills Marching Band, reimagined with the 1900 work of the Wizard of Oz. That's Wicked. It's been so entertaining to watch this band all year long, and another fantastic show to wrap up the regular season. When we come back, we'll look at the stats from the first half and set the stage for the second half right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
We're proudly local, headquartered in Birmingham with offices in Vestavia Hills in Austin, Texas. A family of companies, molecular designs, and streamlined scientific, serving labs nationwide. We develop smarter molecular tools, from advanced PCR assays to improved sample collection and rapid extraction systems, plus seamless lab software. Together, we're a family of companies, simplifying, advancing, and empowering labs across America. Streamlined scientific and molecular designs, local innovation, national impact, serving labs nationwide. Let's go, Rebels!
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Vestavia will get the ball to start the second half, leading 30-6. Let's look at some first half stats.
Vestavia goes over 300 yards of total offense in the first half, 304 compared to 132 for Montgomery Catholic. Charlie Taft, 10 of 18, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. Taft also led the Rebels on the ground with 3 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown. Carson Purdy carried it 7 times, 37 yards for a touchdown, and Noah Bolden threw in 34 yards. Luke Stubbs, leading receiver, 7 catches, 162 yards for Stubbs, 2 touchdowns, so a really nice night for Stubbs. That connection, Taft to Stubbs. For Montgomery Catholic, C.J. Sankey was 8 of 11 through the air, 116 yards and a touchdown. Zaylen Jackson had 5 carries for just 2 total yards of offense, and just shows you how dominant Vestavia was on defense, especially in the running game, holding Montgomery Catholic 12 carries for 13 yards. And really, the scoreboard tells the story. Vestavia came out, they dominated, they controlled as they get ready to go into the playoffs next week. And we'll look again at this bracket. Just want to take a look. We talked about Vestavia going to Auburn, and you look there, Vestavia will play the winner of Sparkman and Daphne in the second round of the playoffs. That is Region 1 matched up against Region 4. Last year in the playoffs, Vestavia was the 4 seed out of Region 3. They played the number 1 seed Mary Montgomery out of the Mobile region, and Vestavia won that game to advance. But this year, Sparkman gets the number 1 seed out of Region 4. Sparkman is 5-5 on the season and got the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed, James Clemens, out of that region is currently 5-4. The number 3 region, Austin, is currently 6-3. The number 4 team making the playoffs out of Region 4 is Florence. And just to give you some context of that, of kind of how that works out and what the season looks like, Hillcrest Tuscaloosa finished 6th in Region 3. They played Florence in Week 1. Florence is a playoff team out of Region 4. Hillcrest, the 6th seed out of Region 3, beat them 35-7.
Wow.
The next week, they played Sparkman. Sparkman is the number 1 seed out of Region 4. Hillcrest beat them 50-24.
Wow.
And think about, as you only go 4 teams in the playoffs for Hillcrest, they had to play Vestavia and Hoover and Thompson and Hewitt-Trussville. Those were their losses. Prattville as well. They don't get in the playoffs. But this Sparkman team that Hillcrest beat 50-24 is a number 1 seed in the playoffs. All regions are not created the same, yet under this playoff system, that's how they're created or treated.
So next week, Vestavia goes down to take on Auburn, And if you're able to beat them for a second time this year, maybe a home game with that bracket in week 2, we'll have to wait and see how everything comes out. But here with one more half to go on the return, that's our guy Zach Laws with it. Laws finding some space on the far side. He's off and running to the 35, the 40, the 50, across midfield, and going to be knocked out of bounds after a great hard-fought return from Zach Laws.
And on back-to-back weeks, Laws starts out the second half with a really nice return. This one is big, and then a flag comes out late, so we'll see what that results in, but a great return to start this second half by Zach Laws.
Maybe a little something after he went out of bounds as he was working that sideline over there. We'll get the call from the official here. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on Vestavia. So it'll just take 15 yards off of the return, and it'll be first down and 10 from that spot.
Looked like Laws was hit right there on the line, if not out of bounds. Maybe took offense to that and reacted, but that reaction is going to cost his team 15 yards.
And it's going to cost him coming out of the game. And hearing a little bit from head coach Robert Evans, who you said trying to get the mind right of this team, the spirit, the intestinal fortitude right of this team before they go into the playoffs and try to make a run. LeMaster's the quarterback, the junior, number 9 out there. Charlie Taft started and led on a couple of touchdown drives. LeMaster trying to get his groove going now here in the second half. He's going to hand it to Boylan, top side. Boylan lowers the shoulder pads, gets 9 yards right there.
Good start for Boylan, moving up and down the field. Did this Vestavia offense in the first half, had some big strikes. A nice gain on that first down.
Little pace again, Boylan with it, following that big offensive line for a first down. Not a ton of yards, but enough to move the sticks.
Vestavia still going to move with tempo, coming back to the line of scrimmage. Laws will now come into the ball game, or back into the ball game.
8 of 2 yards results in a first down for Vestavia.
Davis Coppola is in there in his stead.
First down and 10, Vestavia. Handoff near sides. That's Stubbs with it as he works it down to the 35-yard line.
And Boylan got rolled up on that play. He was down the field blocking, caught his ankle.
Oh, no. He's come hobbling off right now.
You understand wanting to get that starting offense back out for one drive, but goodness, you want to keep everybody healthy.
LeMaster going for it all. To 14, that's Stubbs. That's another touchdown for Vestavia.
Really good throw there by Bryce LeMaster. How about this night for Luke Stubbs? That's his 8th catch of the night, 3rd touchdown of the night, and he is just a few yards shy of 200 yards receiving.
197 receiving yards as he has stacked up the stat line tonight. 36-6, Vestavia leads it. They found something over the top of that Montgomery Catholic secondary. 8 catches, 11 targets, another touchdown, another point after touchdown from Sloan Morgan, and it's 37-6. Vestavia leads it over Montgomery Catholic. We'll take a quick timeout. Rebel Nation Sports Network as the defense checks in when we come back. To the sidelines with a look at our kick team out there ready to kick it off. And boy, you've liked a lot of things you've seen from this team tonight.
They've done what they needed to do. This was a game that Vestavia is expected to win. You had to show up and play the game, and they've done some really nice things, especially in the throwing game. Started out with Taft, now here comes LeMaster, and Luke Stubbs just going off tonight.
Morgan out there to kick it off. Into a little bit of a breeze, going to get to the 3-yard line. Trying to set up a return on the far side, and tackle going to be made out there by, look to be 25, Patillo, in on the tackle.
Just to put a bow on that playoff discussion that we had a little bit earlier, I think regions are important. I think winning a region championship is a big thing. It's important, and if you do that, you should be rewarded with a home game in the playoffs. But there has to be a way for us to put a formula together to power rate teams to put them in the playoffs so that number 2 in the state ranked Vestavia is not going on the road in round 1 to play number 4 ranked Auburn.
A top 4 matchup in the first round. Oh, stacked up defensive play, little hand fighting and getting him to the ground. Quick cutaway there. That on the tackle looked to be Haynes Bridges out there again.
Bridges, very aggressive, getting into the backfield to make that tackle and putting pressure on this Montgomery Catholic defense. And this is the Montgomery Catholic team that's also headed to the playoffs next week. They're going to be at home against Citronelle, as they were the number 1 seed out of their region. They'll have a home game against Citronelle and then try to make a run in the playoffs for them. Again, back-to-back state championships that they have won.
Second down after the 4-yard loss on the great tackle pass underneath there. Right on the spot, though, is Lawson, but now doing a good job of making the tackle, helped out by his brother Greer on the tackle. Love the way that number 0 looks in the helmet.
It looks cool, and he's done a really good job in the as this season's progressed, really grown up, kind of grown into his role, and has been very strong on the defense.
3rd and 9, trying to get them off the field here in the first drive of the 3rd quarter. Vestavia on top by 31, showing a little pressure. They're bringing it right now. Sankey gets rid of it, out to the flat, complete. Manown can't make the tackle, and players off and running on the far sideline. 30, 25, 20, 15, and a tackle made over there, saving the touchdown. That's Walker Hogue, the captain, putting it in.
You see the type of playmaker that player is. Made the catch, made a couple of moves, now slipped down, and then off he went to the running. Just a great effort there by Hogue to come across the field and run him down and knock him out of bounds at the 15.
All right, first down, ball at the 15-yard line. Motion man runs in front of Sankey, who drops back, tries to set up a screen near side. He's got a good block, looking for a touchdown, and they're going to get it right there into the end zone. Touchdown for Montgomery Catholic. That's Zaylen Jackson-Ligon, the senior, out of the backfield for the touchdown.
A well-executed play. A nice crackback block that time by Montgomery Catholic, with the ball thrown behind the line of scrimmage, so that was a legal play there. And just really well executed by Montgomery Catholic. I think there's been a lot of good things for Vestavia, but if there's a little bit of concern, there have been a number of big plays in the pass game for the Knights.
Extra point is up, and this time it is good after missing the last one, so that gets it to 37-13 as they cut into the Vestavia lead. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Taylor Burton Company, we've been building and remodeling homes in Vestavia Hills since 1986. That's back when shoulder pads weren't just for football. This isn't just where we work, it's home. We live here, we raise our families here. Our kids all wore the Rebel jersey under these Friday night lights. That's why we care so deeply about what we do. Quality, craftsmanship, and community, that's what we're built on.
Third quarter action here at Thompson-Reynolds Stadium. Glad you've been with us all year long, and I tell you once again, always support the sponsors, because they're supporting your kids, whether they're sponsoring this broadcast or you see their signs in the program or at the stadium here. They help make Vestavia athletics what it is. 8:04 to go, third quarter, 37-13. Vestavia leads it. Auburn next week. We'll tell you how you can get our broadcast in the state playoffs. This is Zach Laws on the return again. Laws trying to find a seam. He did it again. Another great return. Man, I love the way Three's returning the football now.
That makes such a huge difference, that starting field position all the way out to the 40-yard line. It sets the tone for that drive. Great job by Laws. And he seems to be a little shaken up. He's going to come over to the sideline.
Cockway comes in for him here. The sophomore, number 5, is out there to try to get a little playing time for him. Let's see if we can get him a catch or two.
There's LeMaster at quarterback.
LeMaster in the backfield. Major Weaver in motion, but they're going to pitch it to Hunt, who's going to get a yard maybe, as they read that one nicely. So we're getting some of the depth out there right now.
And that's one thing that you just see the big difference in the classification. Montgomery Catholic just not nearly as many players on their team. The sideline is rather sparse as Vestavia is running pretty deep.
Second down. 9 yards to go. Working the clock here. Play clock's down to 10 as they snap it. Lemaster's going to hand it off to Major Weaver. Lowers his head and works his way to the 44-yard line. He's going to set up a third down.
A rebel down.
And it looks to be Braxton Hunt. And it seems to be a lower body for him too, as he's laying there now, rolling over. They got a Montgomery Catholic player down too. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. Now let's take a quick timeout. Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Baptist Health is on your team. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Baptist Health, on your team, on and off the field.
This is our last broadcast on the One Rebel Athletics YouTube page. We thank you for joining us all season long. The numbers have been incredible. In accordance with AHSAA rules, starting next week, we will only be on the NFHS network. So that is a subscription-based service. We will do this same exact broadcast. We will be live from Auburn doing the game, but you can only check that on the NFHS network, nfhsnetwork.com, or an NFHS app. We'll have the full broadcast, but you have to catch it there.
I was asked by some people, and you guys can answer this for me. Can you post the broadcast not live? Can you post the replay on the YouTube channel? And I'm being told the answer is no to that, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so when you get home from the game, if you go support us, you can't go home and watch it, or watch it Saturday morning while eating a bowl of Captain Crunch. Can't do it.
And I wish you could do it. I mean, it's a time when everybody, it's the biggest attention that the football season is getting. That's when you love to have those viewers. We love bringing this to you every single week, but that is the rules in the playoffs.
Third down and 6 for Vestavia. Power formation out there. Can do a lot of things out of this. He's going to keep it, Lemaster is. And now he's going to dump it off to Harper. Harper's going to fight forward for a first down.
I will say that's one of the neatest things for us. We do these broadcasts. Obviously, we've had really nice crowds live, but every time you check it the next morning and that number's doubled. Yeah. And then a little bit later, you see another 1,000 or so people have came in and checked out the game. Last week was an incredible viewership that we had, which was well-deserved because of how well the young men on both sides played for both Hoover and Vestavia. We got another player down on the field.
Yeah, a little injury to a Montgomery Catholic player right in front of the Vestavia bench as they're tending to him near sideline about the 45-yard line.
And we talked about it. Montgomery Catholic really big taking this game at this point in the season. Vestavia was scheduled to play Clay Chalkville, who's ranked #1 in 6A football. It's a game they played last year here at Vestavia, and Vestavia won. But Clay Chalkville decided that they wanted this week off. They backed out of the game, and then at the last minute able to schedule Montgomery Catholic, a 5A school who's had great success the last few years. So this game happened and was put together, and that's one thing is for the longest time, Vestavia in the early season, they would play Mountain Brook and they would play Homewood, and it would be awesome crowds, awesome atmosphere, two very close cities in proximity, but those games the last 2 or 3 years have not been played, and so Vestavia's had a more difficult time scheduling games.
37-13. This is Major Weaver with it down inside the 35.
Really nice run by Weaver. He's a guy, every time he gets in there, he makes something happen. Had a nice game a couple of weeks ago against Tuscaloosa County. Has had several touchdowns on the season and seems to know exactly where he needs to be, run the plays properly, follow the offensive blockers, and get upfield for nice gains and move the chains.
5:40 to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10. Ball's at the 35.
Offsides against Montgomery Catholic. That'll move it up as Luke Laracy checks in on the offensive line for the Rebels.
I think we've had a little prank going on in the student section below us. I, honest to goodness, Chad, thought you put on some cologne at halftime.
I was wondering who did that to you.
I was looking around.
Not me.
I was like, who has got the brood of the polo on from 1988? But I think some kids down below have had a good time with a bottle of Dad's cologne. Handoff is to Weaver again, down to the 17-yard line.
Nice run by Weaver. Nice blocking out front by Powell Curry.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but when I realized it wasn't you at first, I was like, man. I mean, I know you're going down to the sidelines for our fourth quarter, but you didn't have to put on the Saturday night cologne.
It's only Thursday.
It's only Thursday. We may need better security in front of us next year. Off near side, good blocking out there as Weaver now works his way down to the 13-yard line. Good run by him.
Well done on the edge by Copway. Also Baker Huntley at the wide receiver spot.
4 minutes and under 4 minutes now as we clip to the 3:53 mark of the third quarter. 37-13, Vestavia is going to cruise into the playoffs with another win. Going to go into the playoffs with an 8-2 record. We'll be on the road at Auburn in the rematch game. We'll talk more about what rematches and the difficulties of that coming up in a moment. But Master this time is going to pitch it, going across the face of the offense. That's number 30. That's Powell Curry, one of the tight ends, the sophomore, on the run there.
Can't say enough about what Coach Evans has done. 4 seasons here, 4 appearances in the playoffs. Going to finish 8-2 in the regular season. Last time they were 8-2 was 2023. Before that, it was 2015.
One of the toughest regions, if not the toughest regions in the state. Trying to get some more points here, trying to go over the 40-point mark again, which has been regular all season long as well in the wins. Shift, snap. Master's going to keep this one, fighting forward, and he's going to get his legs taken out from under him right around the 7. Another first down, maybe.
Move the sticks.
Yeah, first down, right at the sticks. Get a good call over here by my spotter. He says it's a first down. It is first and goal at the 7.
So one of my good buddies from high school is an NFL official. He's a line judge. He actually called the Super Bowl this past year, Max Causey. The other night, he called a close first down, and they replayed it, and they confirmed that he made the right call. And I got fired up about an official's call.
LeMaster runs this, or make that Weaver again after the LeMaster handoff. Down to the 5. I got to referee one A-Day game in Tuscaloosa during the Nick Saban time.
Very cool.
The SEC were embedding some media people, and I was the linesman. And spotting the ball, not as easy as it looks on television.
Not at all.
Hard to do. I was told by Steve Shaw in the pregame when he was coaching us up, whatever you do, here's a whistle, don't ever blow it. He says the white hat will blow the whistle. I can correct anything except you blowing that whistle. I'll finish the story after this play. LeMaster hands off to Weaver, right into the back of Ainsworth. He's going to get picked up and tackled. So Trent Richardson was the running back at the time at Alabama. He's stacked up by 3 guys right in front of me, and he's going nowhere. But I was told not to blow that whistle. And the Alabama coaching staff was chewing my tail out, saying, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. Steve forgot to blow the whistle, and I was getting really, really chewed out by a couple of the defensive assistants who were coaching that team in the near sideline.
Very cool.
And I turned and told him, I said, I was told whatever I do, don't blow this whistle. But I did make one call on a catch. And we went up and looked at replay at halftime, and I got it right. It made me feel really good. Very nice. Timeout here, and we're going to get things set with 41 seconds to go. We'll keep it right here.
We're going to try something different in the fourth quarter. I'm going to go to the field.
That's
try to call the game there. we'll see how that works out. And then we're going to do some interviews in the postgame. We haven't done that all season long. We're going to talk to Coach Evans. We're going to talk to a few players and just get their thoughts on the season and what things look like going forward into the playoffs.
So you're going to go down there and pretend you're Cole Kublik on the SEC Network?
See how that works.
Jared
Yeah, we're going to do
Andrews at Fox, one of those. We're going to get down there and mix it up on the sideline.
I haven't done that. It's the first thing I did when I got into broadcasting 20 years ago. Did some sideline stuff, and then so we'll try it again tonight. See how it goes.
I wish we'd have checked with the coach. Maybe pull Charlie over and interview Charlie during the game.
They do not want me doing that during the game.
Well, we probably need to check that out first.
Yeah.
I come up with the great ideas sometimes. Way too late.
I did sideline for the Birmingham Bowl a few years ago, and it was freezing cold.
Oh, I don't like it when it's cold.
Freezing cold.
We got a third down play coming up from the 4 as we get ready to break the huddle. 41 seconds to go, as you can see on the clock. Big third down play. Extra lineman in. Major Weaver's back there. LeMaster's going to keep it with pressure. Throws to the end zone and just incomplete. Trying to work it there to Powell Curry, but defended well by Montgomery Catholic. We're going to try a field goal here. Get some work in on kicking field goals.
That was good pressure by Montgomery Catholic, trying to get the ball into the end zone. This field goal will take the Rebels to 40 if they're able to convert.
You've got your results over there, final scores of the games all year. Do you have that anywhere? Because 40 is a big number. Here's the field goal attempt. Sloan Morgan kicks it up, and it is good. It is 40-13. How many times have we gone to 40?
6. This will be the 7th.
7th time we've gone 40 points or more. Let me guess, we've won every one of those.
That's correct.
Yeah, 40 is a magical number for the Rebels. We'll talk more about where this team is, and we'll send Chad on a journey to the sidelines when we come back on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Taylor Burton Company, we've been building and remodeling homes in Vestavia Hills since 1986. That's back when shoulder pads weren't just for football. This isn't just where we work, it's home. We live here, we raise our families here. Our kids all wore the Rebel jersey under these Friday night lights. That's why we care so deeply about what we do. Quality, craftsmanship, and community, that's what we're built on.
28 seconds to go in the third quarter of a 40-13 game. Sloan Morgan had that field goal. Charlie Taft, when he was throwing the football tonight, was 10 of 10. He's been out for a couple of touchdown passes. 10 of 18, I should say correctly. The Masters come in, he's 4 of 6. He led that last drive. Now the defense is back out. Kick return taken at the 5 and carried by Player out to the 23-yard line, and he's still running. Player is off and running, but they've been blowing the whistle dead because he's been stopped, but he said, man, I was still fighting. I was still taking hits. I want the touchdown. But he ends up rolling all the way to the end zone. He wanted not to be called back, but it is going to be called back, and there's a penalty as well. While we're getting Chad down there, get a little analyst work from one of our students here. Introduce yourself, man. Who are you?
Bennett Gwaltney.
Okay. You've been doing, tell everybody what you've been doing over here. The hardest job in the whole broadcast.
I've been running the scoreboard, clock, all that. So,
tell me what you think of the offense and the defense so far for your Vestavia Rebels tonight.
I think we've had a couple blown coverages, but that's mainly been the backup. I'm pretty sure on defense.
I give him a microphone. The first thing you do, you go critical, man. You're going to go far in the sportscasting world. Everybody's critical. Give me a positive first, and then a negative.
Positive. Well, positive is we have 40 points. Gotten a couple 2-point conversions.
See, you're like Coach Evans. Coach Evans is going to point out what we need to correct. I like that. Quick snap here on the handoff. I'll let you break that play down as you see a couple of tacklers in there. One of them is number 16. Make that 15. Nope, 16, Christian Cameron in there in the tackle. What do you think of the, as we go to break here real quickly? As we get ready for Auburn, you've seen this team go 8-2. What's our chances in the playoffs? How deep of a run can we make it?
Well, if you look at like the overall, what's it called? Tournament bracket. There you go, yeah. Bracket. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. We play Auburn. We beat Auburn here, I think, 42-14 at home 2 years ago got whooped in their place. I don't know how much home field is a factor, and it's a lot farther away from Vestavia, about 2-hour drive. I think we have a very good chance winning first round, and I think getting all the way to the semis before the championship.
Right.
Now I'm going to say I think maybe Hewitt, I believe, will be playing us there. I think that they can get there and meet us. That's the first game where I wouldn't be as confident in our team, knowing that's a game we didn't win on the road. Now, but we'd be playing on the road at Hewitt, I'm pretty sure, if we were in that game.
All right. Okay, I'm going to let you do one more thing before you get out of here. I'm going to let you call the play-by-play. Chad Pilcher will join us for the sidelines as we start the fourth quarter here in a second. But you can do play-by-play of the Montgomery Catholic play here. Here's their Sankey's their quarterback, number 2. Putting you on the spot here.
Type player, I think, is their wide receiver that constantly getting the ball.
They constantly get the ball. And tonight, when I've been in doubt, I've just let player pretend he gets the ball. Your call.
All right, sounds good. 2nd and 4. Snap and flag.
You're going to get
false start.
You're going to get one more call here.
It's going to be 2nd and 9 now.
All right. 2nd and 9 coming up. So is this something you want to do after you graduate from Vestavia and then college?
100%. This is a field I would look into going, especially this announcing career is something I'd like to do in front of the camera, especially. So.
We're starting the fourth quarter. Your call here on this 2nd down and 9 play.
Clock running. 40 Vestavia, 13 Montgomery Catholic. 2nd and 9. Ball is snapped. Sankey rolling right side of the field. Throws. It's going to be caught by number 4. It's like Justin Outlaw, or did he drop that? Did you catch that? Yeah, he caught that.
Yep.
It's going to be a gain of about 3 yards and 3rd and 6 with your clock still ticking.
Okay, one more play. But you're too good. I'm going to snatch it away from you after this. Pilcher's ready on the sidelines. We'll get down to him in the second. 40-13. Your call.
All right.
Maybe it's a touchdown. Maybe it's a pick 6.
That'd be great. I love that.
Me too.
Ball to Sankey. Sankey, that side of the field. Looks like, can't see his number. They can't possibly see if it's going to be a first down. He's still going. And he's going to be tackled at about the 27-28 yard line. It's going to be a first down. Montgomery Catholic. That was, I should say it was Ty Player with the ball.
Yep.
Because we can't see his number.
That's exactly. Good call, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Hand me the roster. Chad Pilcher down on the sideline. Pilcher, I'll jump to you after this first down play from Montgomery Catholic as we work our way to the 10:38 mark to go in the game. 40-13. First down as Montgomery resets the downs. Ball's at the 27. Handoff top side, working out to the 35-36 yard line before the tackle is made there by number 29. That is Maddox Vickers on the tackle there, Chad.
And first off, that was a great job on the play-by-play, and we'll probably have our jobs in jeopardy. But second, being down here on the sidelines, you forget, Sankey looks really great at the quarterback spot. And now Vestavia playing hard, and Coach Evans coaching no differently now than he did at the very start of the first quarter.
Yeah, stay close to him because we could actually hear what he was saying when you were close to him there. Second down play, handoff goes up the middle, and fighting for a first down right at the sticks is the ball carrier. That's 26 for them. That's going to be KJ Johnson, a freshman, as they're getting some of their freshmen in as well, Chad.
Nice run there. Matthew Bilsmeyer was in on the tackle. Guys that you never know if they're going to get opportunities here tonight, especially on the defensive line when the Rebels need depth.
Okay. He's running with it again as Johnson.
Ball's out.
KJ Johnson's going to get the first down. Vestavia thinks they have the fumble. And they're going to give it to Vestavia, so a turnover, Chad.
Nice pressure by this Vestavia defensive line. Liam Warsica came up with that fumble recovery. It is a lot easier to tell who recovers a fumble when you're standing right even with the ball.
So Vestavia takes over with 9:17 to go as we try out some new technology. Chad is saying he doesn't want to come back up here. He wants to call it from the sidelines. I wanted to be down there with you, man. I wanted to do the whole game from down there, but they said no. Jim, you got to stay up here. LeMaster still at quarterback. Handoff is Major Weaver, going to get a couple of yards. Hey, while you're down there, can you check Daniel Richardson's status for us? Find out how healthy he is. Maybe find out what his injury was. Next time we get a timeout. Second down, 8 yards to go. The ball sits at the 37. Vestavia letting that clock run. 14 on the play clock as they break the huddle. Second down and 8. Master takes the snap, hands it to Weaver. Good mesh by them. He's got a first down and gets more yardage down to the 26-yard line. First down, Vestavia. Well, Chad, I don't know if
That's
you
a
can
nice
tell on that. The snap and the handoff almost bang, bang. That was well timed out there.
Really quickly, and then great job by Weaver running the football, really following those blocks, getting into the second level.
Another first down for Vestavia. Clock is rolling. Play clock's at 15. Game clock's at 8:13. First down 10 for your Rebels. Master getting the play off. Perfect timing. Once again, handoff Weaver near side. Weaver trying to hit a seam there, and he does down to the 11. And a good carry. Actually, that's going to be, yeah, that's exactly right. That's number 12, Carter Stagner, who snuck into the game, and the junior had a great run. So Stagner hit that seam perfectly, just like Weaver had done earlier, and he gets it down to the 11. So first down, and still can get a first down at the 1. Ball sits at the 11. Stagner's got it again, trying to follow the blockers to the top side, hits the 10-yard line and gets stacked up right there.
Number 12, Carter Stagner.
So Moat, the sophomore, in at quarterback. So you've seen junior Charlie Taft, junior Price LeMaster, and now you get the sophomore. Maybe a one-day starter in Moat out there. Maybe we'll get Christian Cameron in the game before it's over. Down that quarterback list a little bit. Hudson Moat stands back there. Gonna hand it off, right side. Is that Fox Neely on the carry? It is Neely. Gonna get back to the line of scrimmage. See a great picture of our huddle there. Stagner, Moat, Baker Huntley's out there. Break the huddle with 10 on the play clock now. 6 on the game clock coming up here in a second. Moat with a nice pitch to Stagner near side to 10. Gets chased down from behind at the 8-yard line. He's going to set up a fourth down. Hey, if we get a timeout here, if we let the clock run and call a timeout, which may be what we're about to do, interview those ball boys. I wanted to know their names right beside to your left here. They have worked their tails off all year. Okay, we're not going to call a timeout. We're going to run a play here. 5 seconds on the play clock. Moat gets it. He's going to hand it off near side. Fighting for the first down marker. Stagner's going to come up short, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Okay, find out who those ball boys are, because they have been busting their tail all year for the guys.
Assisted by number 11, Frederick Lewis. Gain of 2 yards on the play. Handoff takes over. On downs. They'll have the ball first.
No.
And 10.
Oh, is it not working? Sounds fantastic to me. Oh, so I can hear it, but you can't? I'm talking to you like it's going great. Nobody can hear you. It's a one-sided conversation. I'm like the guy. I've been like the guy in the elevator the whole time, on the phone, and nobody else can hear you. I'm gonna put this down. First down for Montgomery. I'd have finished the game. Nobody would have told me. Great defensive play back there. Numbers are 37 and 35. That's Carson Krill and Ren Smith making the tackle. Play loses 2, 2nd and 12. I just got a shoulder shrug. I turned around and said, "Was anybody going to tell me?" Nobody could hear Chad talking. Handoff going top side. Again, our defense is out there, man, on top of the play. Once again, it is Carson Krill out there. Ben Ponder in to make a play, too. Ben Ponder running downhill. Get a good look there at Maddox Vickers. Also big 36 David Hahn in there. Hahn's one of the captains tonight. Third down play coming up from Montgomery Catholic. 3:50 on the game clock. Third and 11. Handoff on the tackle. Off the tackle, I should say. 15 and 17. That's Ben Ponder and J.D. Haynes. Haynes the first to get there, the senior linebacker. It's going to be a 4th down play, and looks like we're going to get a punt from Montgomery Catholic. We'll send Hayes Hudson back to make the catch. Can I hang up the phone? Can I hang up the phone? Why'd you come back up?
Figured I'd finish doing the job.
3 minutes to go. Punt coming out of the end zone, way away from Haynes Hudson, who's not going to field it, and it's going to roll all the way out to midfield, and that's where Vestavia will take over for their final drive of the night. So I thought the broadcast was going great. I could hear you.
That was fun. I was down there. I had some great content.
I thought I could hear you in both ears. Thought everybody at home could hear. I thought it was good content. And nobody up here was telling me that that nobody at home could hear you.
Tried to get an injury report. They'd never seen me before down there. Had no idea who I was. So that went well.
Handoff right side. On the carry is quarterback Hudson Moat. I think maybe we'd gotten a carry there from Powell Curry as well, or he's still on the play. Clock's running.
So what we were about to do is have an interview with the ball boys, who've done a great job all season long.
You didn't get their names, did you?
Got their names. Will Caudell, Cooper Dempsey, William Mummert. They've been out there all season, road, away, everywhere. They're there doing their job.
Yeah. And when you run pace, like we run,
it's hard.
The ball boys are important, because if the ball boys are slow getting the ball to the official, then you can't run the pace you're on.
It matters. They do a great job. Young guys who one day will be playing out here on this field.
Hopes up. Hopes up. Unless they get recruited away. 1:35 to go in this one.
The other thing we were going to do is we were going to have post-game interviews with coach and some players, and we'll just have to do that some other time.
Well, let's interview the coach and the athletic director afterwards.
Sounds great.
Play for everybody another time. Handoff comes near side. On the carry there is Stagner again. He's getting some carries.
I will say, sometimes I watch this back to see how good or how bad we do. I will definitely be clicking on this one.
Yeah, I mean, go back
to catch that conversation.
Go back and watch and see how excited I was to be talking to you. For those who don't know, I was using my iPhone talking to Chad, and Chad and I were having a good iPhone conversation that none of you could hear. I thought the plan would work. I really did.
I did too.
Yeah. That's the way they used to do TV in 1957. Kneel down, that's going to end the game. Vestavia has finished their regular season scoring 40 points again. 40-13, Vestavia over Montgomery Catholic for the win. So let's set the table. What's coming up?
Now it's the playoffs. And this is where it's all the line. This is what you prepare all season long for.
Win or go home.
Win or go home. Vestavia in the Alabama Sports Writers Association poll is ranked number 2. In Region 3, they're ranked number 3. And they will go to Region 2, number 2, Auburn. It's a team that they beat 42-14 in week 2 of the season, but that was here at Thompson-Reynolds Stadium. This week, Vestavia is going to go, or next week, Vestavia is going to go on the road to a Thompson team that finished 8-2, finished second in a very competitive region behind Central Phoenix City. This is going to be a huge challenge for the Rebels. But if they're able to win that ball game, they will then be at home for the second round of the playoffs against either Sparkman or Daphne. A lot of opportunity is sitting there for Vestavia. Every season the past 3 years, they've made it to the second round of the playoffs and been defeated. This is an opportunity. If you get past that round 1, maybe you get to take that next step and move into the semifinals and then see what happens as the season goes on.
Handshake line is working. And we'll get Robert Evans talking to his team over there. That iconic shot that we get at the end of every home game. There you see them gathering around their head coach, who has produced another winning regular season, 8-2. And then the playoffs are waiting. And, you know, it's like the NCAA tournament, man. Sometimes that first win is the hardest. And then if you get one, then you go to the second one, and sometimes the second one seems easier than the first one, and then you're off and running to some uncharted waters.
You're absolutely correct. It's a challenge. This is a great Auburn team that Vestavia is going to face next week. But again, come out, compete. I think these are two just big-time teams. It's a pretty good matchup for Vestavia. And then the idea of, for the first time in a long time, having a home playoff game here at Thompson-Reynolds Stadium is just incredible. That could happen in the second round. And the bottom line is, in a winner-go-home situation, all that matters are the 48 minutes that you play on that particular Friday night. And for Vestavia, that all starts next week at Auburn.
Boy, we saw these guys working in July and August and the camps and everything, and to be to this point now, all these weeks later, from that first practice in the heat to the scrimmages, and finally playing that first game against Westside, South Carolina, and getting right to this point right now, and now we're off to the playoffs. How can you watch us next week?
It's been a privilege to bring these games to you all season long here on the YouTube page, but next week we shift to NFHS. It'll be the same broadcast you've already always seen. It'll be on the NFHS network.
Yeah, and it's subscription, so go figure that out. Now, some people would say maybe there's a 7-day free trial, and maybe you could time that out to where you can watch the game for free. And if they win, then next week maybe use a different email address and watch it for free again. You know, whatever you need to do. Yeah.
But
you
watch.
pay per game.
If you buy it per game, which is even that's actually a good business model. So good for them. So hey, but show up if you can. Make that trip. Leave early, because there's going to be a lot of people heading that way. But tune in, check it out. This is a team that's had a really special season. 8-2, the only 2 losses to Thompson, to Hewitt-Trussville, who are also ranked in the top 5. It's just an outstanding season for Vestavia and a lot of opportunity yet to come.
Or we could just give out my cell number, and y'all can call me, and we could do like we did those 2 plays earlier. I could just do it on my phone to everybody. All right, that's our broadcast tonight. Thanks to all the students. Heck of a job again, man. A great season. For those of you that are not going on the road with us, y'all were fantastic. How many of you are on the road with us next week? Raise your hand. You're there? You're there? You're there? Oh, we don't know.
And our crew, John Versiglio, Abby Gillette, Stephen Gill, Roger
adults.
Jackson.
Those are adults.
But hey, they put in a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and we couldn't do all this without them. But the students are what make this thing happen.
Oh, the students are great. A+ for all of them, teacher. A+ for everybody. It's been a great season. And we'll see you next week down in Auburn on a winning night from Thompson-Reynolds Stadium, Buddy Anderson Field. Final score, Vestavia 40, Montgomery Catholic 13. This is the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
This is Coach Robert Evans with Vestavia Hills High School. Thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. We hope you tune in next week. Go Rebels.